Sean Fitzgerald, aka Actual Justice Warrior, thinks we're stupid. For those of you who don't know who Sean Fitzgerald is, Sean Fitzgerald is a YouTuber who runs the YouTube channel entitled Actual Justice Warrior, and he's been doing this for a long time now. As his name would suggest, he rose to prominence during the time of the anti-SJW craze, and back then he used to position himself as being a lot more moderate, but he's begun to expose a lot of his more extreme views as time has progresses. I don't think it's a case of him being radicalized. I think he was already radical. He was one of those libertarian types, or pseudo-libertarian types. I think he's half white and half Cuban, but that doesn't matter. He thinks we're stupid. You see, Sean Fitzgerald, aka Actual Justice Warrior, likes to pretend like he's just this moderate guy, just saying things how they are and saying the truth. But you can tell a lot about what his actual views are by the audience he has, the audience he appeals to. One thing you'll notice about a lot of these white or white adjacent types who have these platforms isn't what their white audience says, is what their non-white audience says. Why is it, Sean, that all of the people who are black, Latino, etc., who are drawn to your content are either full-blown Nazi sympathizers or adjacent to that? What does it say about you? I'll tell you what it means. It means that these people feel empowered to say what the white members of your audience can't say because they are non-white. If you would actually dig deeper, you would see that a lot of his white audience agrees with what the non-white audience says about, let's say, how the non-white audience feels with regards to the sympathies for like far-right Nazism, far-right racism and stuff. It's just that they don't feel empowered enough yet to voice those views, such as how Sean didn't feel empowered enough to voice those views when he first started his channel. Sean Fitzgerald, aka Actual Justice Warrior, isn't fooling anyone. Your views and your ideology will be the death of the Republican Party. The Republican Party is going to lose power for a generation, not just for their embrace of almost outright white nationalism, but because of the ridiculous economic policies Trump is embracing. This is the death of the Republican Party, and all of these serious Republicans in the party who are in position of power right now know that America is not a white country. It was never a white country. It is not a white Christian country. It was never a white Christian country. Although Sean Fitzgerald, I believe, is secular, I have to hammer this point home. If anything, America was always a biracial nation. It was always primarily black and white. The founding fathers were not Christians. Many of them were deists or full-blown atheists. You cannot change this reality, and no matter how much you try to scapegoat blacks, you cannot change this. If anything, black Americans have more of a legitimate claim to America than quote-unquote white Americans. What we call white Americans are the descendants of white immigrants from Europe, from the slums of Europe. The only people who are actually quote-unquote indigenous to America well, not Native American, but quote unquote indigenous to the country that is America, is Anglo-Saxons and Black Americans. Shine, okay? You aren't fooling anyone trying to pretend like you're so moderate when you're just a full-blown white nationalist at this point. Even if you aren't, the audience he attracts pretty much is. This it's pretty unfortunate too, because a lot of these guys, these younger guys, they're basically going down a very, very deep rabbit hole.